Hello, everyone, and welcome to the IMS Curriculum Workshop. We're so excited to have you here. So congratulations on getting accepted to IMS, and we look forward to meeting all of you in September. So I just wanted to let you know that this session is being recorded. The presentation portion of the session is being recorded, but the Q&A and the breakout sessions will not be recorded. So my name is Subiga Varavanathan, and I work in curriculum and education. I've been working at IMS over the past 3 years. So I do like curriculum development, course evaluations, anything with advising students on course and program requirements, coordinating our MSc 1010, 1011, which is a mandatory course which all of you will be taking, as well as teaching assistant, sessional lecture hiring, as well as our major events. I do apologize in advance. I'm not feeling too well, so my voice isn't sounding too great today. So I like to introduce all our staff team that's here today, as well as our leadership team that you'll get to know better when September starts. So if anyone on this call, I will be introducing one by one. If you can give a quick 30-second introduction. So we'll start off with Nicole, who's our amazing director of curriculum.
I don't know about amazing, but I am the director of curriculum. My name is Nicole Harnett. My primary appointment is in the Department of Radiation Oncology, where I work at Princess Margaret Hospital in the radiation medicine program. But I've been the director of curriculum here at IMS for 5-6 years now, and looking forward to having you all. Congratulations on getting accepted, and hope you're all very excited about the upcoming academic year.
Thanks so much, Nicole. If Lucy, our also amazing associate director, can also give a quick introduction.
Also amazing. Wow. I'm joining you, Nicole. I'm Lucy Osborne. I'm the Associate Director of the Institute of Medical Science. My primary appointment is actually in medicine, but I'm cross-appointed to molecular genetics as well, and my lab is in the Mars building. So I kind of run the day-to-day show. We have people that do specific things like Nicole and our staff who take on very kind of specific tasks and do a fabulous job. And I just kind of am there to field all the questions on a day-to-day basis. If anybody has any questions that can't get answered, I'm always there. So feel free to drop me a line.
Perfect. Thanks so much, Lucy. If Emily can introduce herself, another amazing staff member.
Thanks, Obiga. So hi, everyone. I'm Emily Drozde. I'm the admissions and recruitment administrator. I think most of you have received email communications from me. So it's nice to sort of see everybody sort of in person. Yeah, so as I'm sure most of you know, so I deal with admissions. I deal with admissions and recruitment. And so you'll be getting some more emails from me about registration and everything like that shortly within the next couple of weeks. So hi, everybody, and welcome.
Perfect. Thanks, Emily. How about you, Lynn, our newest amazing staff member?
Thank you, Subiga. Hello, everybody. My name is Eileen, and I'm the graduate program assistant. I support you with the things like the program registration, GEMS agreement, leave of absence, and your final oral examinations, and so on. If you have any questions during your MSc journey, feel free to reach out to me. And welcome again, everyone.
Thanks, Eileen. And lastly, if Aisha, who's our work study student, who's also an amazing person to work with and supervise.
Hi, everyone. Really nice to meet you all. My name is Aisha. I am a work study student with the curriculum department, and my role involves doing everything Subiga and Nicole asked me to do. And one of my responsibilities is helping to lead today's workshop. And I'm really excited to get to meet some of you today.
Thanks, Aisha. So for all the students on the call, if you have any questions during the presentation portion of today's workshop, we ask that you put your questions in the chat. There will be a Q&A session after we're done our presentation portion where you can ask us directly. But if there's any questions in the meantime, you can put it in the chat, and we will be going through the chat as well during the Q&A session. So I'll hand it over to Aisha.
Yeah, so just to start us off, we will be covering several topics today related to IMS curriculum. So everything that we have listed in today's agenda that you can see here. You're welcome to put questions in the chat, as Sabiga mentioned, but please keep those related to the content being presented and any other questions we'd like you to keep for the Q&A at the end. I know some people have jumped the gun, and I see a couple of questions in the chat already. And we will also have a short Kahoot quiz at the end of the session, and I believe the winner does get a prize. Sabiga, you can correct me if I'm wrong. So please stay tuned for that.
Perfect. I just also wanted to ask any of our staff members who are on the call if there are any questions that you feel confident answering, if you can answer them while the presentation is going on.
So first, I'd just like to introduce you all to the IMS website. So here you'll find the answers to all things IMS, including program requirements, course schedules, funding opportunities, and other important information. I suggest you bookmark this page and start to get familiar with the various tabs, as it's a really great reference. And if you forget everything you learn in today's session, majority of it can be summarized on the website, but I do advise you stick around because today will be a fun workshop. You could go to the next slide, Savia. My screen is frozen, of course. Okay. There are also two other really important websites that you need to familiarize yourself with, which are Acorn and Quirkus. If you have attended UFT before, you should know these websites already, and there's nothing different in how you use them in our department either. So Acorn is a secure student information system that includes your contact information, financial information, so that includes your tuition, any awards you receive. You can also get your tax slips through here. Academic information, so that's your timetable, grades, and access to transcripts. You also can find your degree registration status. And for any questions regarding degree registration status, you can always contact Emily. And most relevant to today, Acorn is where you enroll in your courses, and any of those questions can be directed to Sabiga. Quirkus is a learning management system. So after you've enrolled in a course and have been approved, your enrollment has been approved, you will be added to the course page. And here you can access all course content. And I advise that you periodically check for announcements from course instructors prior to September, once your enrollment has been approved for the course, because you may have some important information that you receive from instructors through there. Next slide.
I was also going to add for all students to please consistently check your UFT email address, as course instructors also send course information through email as well.
So moving on to the course requirements. As a master's student, you are required to complete a minimum of 2.0 full course equivalents, or FCEs. This includes 2 modular courses that are 0.25 FC each, which are typically shorter in length than standard courses, but can be letter graded or credit, no credit. So 1.0 FC elective courses can include a combination of courses that fulfill this requirement, but they must be letter graded. So elective courses can be taken in other departments, and we do have more information on that later and what the process is like. But you cannot count a single course towards each requirement. So for example, if you take a letter graded modular course, it can either count towards your modular course requirements or elective course requirements, but not both. There are also 2 courses that you'll automatically be enrolled in. So we do request that you don't try to add these courses via Acorn, because you will be given an error message. So we have MSc 1010, which counts towards 0.5 FCE, and then the RST 9999, which is not technically a course, but once your thesis is completed, you will receive the credit for that requirement. There are a few additional degree requirements required for completion of your degree. So we have the Tri-Council Ethics course, and if you have completed the certificate already, you don't need to do it again, essentially. But everyone will receive more information on how to submit this, and you will be provided reminders. So don't worry, this is not the requirement that will be the reason that you don't get your degree. But again, that means you should set up your email and have all of those things in place. And another requirement is attending the Ori Rothstein lecture, which takes place during the fall term. And also you are required to present at the IMS Scientific Day at some point in your degree.
I was also going to add, all students with the invite status should already have MSc 1010H and RST 99Y already enrolled in on Acorn. As with regards to the TCPS online ethics course certificate, as Aisha mentioned, you don't need to redo it if you've already completed it, but you will still need to submit the certificate to IMS.
So for PhD students with a defended master's, the course and degree requirements are very similar. So you are required to, again, complete a minimum of 2.0 FCE. 0.5 FCE will come from the mandatory course MSc 1011, which is the PhD course equivalent of MSc 1010. So again, you're already enrolled in this automatically. If you completed your MSc at IMS, you must take 2.0 elective courses to make up the PhD credits. So you're not required to take 0.5 FCE in modular courses, so the no credit courses. And you also don't need to take MSc 1011 as it is the same as MSc 1010. Next slide. For direct entry PhD or PhD transfer students with an undefended master's, there is a 3.0 FCE minimum requirement. So 0.5 FCE will come from modular courses. And for transfer students, this must be completed prior to the transfer. And we'll get into the details of what a transfer looks like. 2.0 FCE will come from elective courses. So these must be letter graded. 0.5 FCE will come from MSc 1011. And again, for transfer students, this must be completed prior to the transfer. Other degree requirements include qualifying and transfer exams. So for direct entry, you must complete the PhD qualifying exam within 18 to 21 months of registration. And for transfer students, you must complete your transfer exam first, which is followed by the qualifying exam at the end of your PhD studies. Again, the additional 3 degree requirements for all IMS students are mandatory.
I was just going to reiterate the point that MSc 1010H is for master's students and MSc 1011H is for PhD students. It's just a difference in course code. It is the same course.
Next slide. Yeah, thank you. There are 3 options for the IMS doctoral stream. So you can either enter directly as a PhD student with an undefended master's, you can enter as a PhD student with a defended master's, or enter as an MSc student first and then transfer to your PhD without defending your master's. But here you are required to meet certain criteria, and the full details of that is listed on the IMS website.
So moving on to course selection. So course selection, if you go on our IMS website, these are the most important links that you need to go under. So if you go under the courses section, there is a timetables and descriptions link, as you can see, sort of highlighted in blue on the screen. So this is where you'll find our half credit courses and our 1.0 credit courses. These are the courses offered by IMS. Then if you click under modular courses, you will find all the modular courses that IMS offers. So IMS modular courses start with MSc 11, and then the last 2 digits will differ depending on the course. Another important form that you will need, which I'll go further into detail, is a course add drop form. So if you're going to take courses offered by other departments, for most courses, you will need to fill out this add drop form, and I will go into this in more detail. Under the courses section, also on the website, as you can see, there is a section for MSc 1010, 1011, Y/H. Y is not applicable. This was for students who are entering in September 2024. This was for students who entered before 2020. I highly recommend that all of you please take time to go through this section on our website. So as I was mentioning, modular courses are 0.25 credits each. They're typically shorter in length. They're typically 6 weeks, but depending on the course, they can be like every other week for 6 weeks, for 12 weeks. So it depends on each course. We have modular courses that are letter graded, as well as modular courses that are credit, no credit. So the difference is if it's letter graded, you will get a grade that's either an A+, A minus, B+, B minus, or a fail. And if it's credit, no credit, if you get above 70%, you get a credit on your transcript. It'll just say CR. And then if you don't pass the course, you'll get a no credit, which is NCR. For the modular course requirement, you can take either letter graded courses or credit, no credit, or a combination of both. So you do have the flexibility on which courses you want to take. We have a wide range of courses from graduate professional development to biostatistics to courses in AI. I also wanted to note, not all courses are offered each year. So if on our website, if there's a specific course that says TBD, it's most likely not going to be offered this year unless something changes. So all other courses are already updated on our website. So if you see session fall 2024, it will be offered in fall 2024. If you see session winter 2025, it will be offered in winter 2025. I also want to note that modular courses don't like for other courses, they mostly start like, let's say a fall session course, September to December. However, modular courses, they can be just like October to November, or they could be September to October, vice versa. So depending on your course schedule, course load, you can pick modular courses for your schedule. Like, let's say you just want to take a course in September, October, there are courses like that. So all the details for the schedule are on our website as well. So moving on to course approval. So this is really important slide. So this is really important to pay attention to. So on the left-hand side of your screen is like a screenshot from Acorn. So you will see either an invited status. All of you right now will not have a registration status because registration has not started, but registration is starting next week. So once you've completed all the requirements for registration, your invite status will move to registered. So on the Acorn, you will see there's a spot where you will click manage courses. So this is where in the search bar, you will type for the course. You will need to type the full course code. So if on our website, it says, for example, MSc 1090H, just type MSc 1090H, you'll see the course show. And then there will be an option to request the course. So once you request the course, you are not enrolled in the course. So I go through every single course request and I have to approve every single course request before you become enrolled in the course. Please note, this is not an instantaneous process. I do have 500 students in our program, so I do it as fast as I can, but it's not instantaneous. So please wait at least a week before your course is approved. I do some of them right away, but depending on my workload. So as I mentioned, requested does not mean you're officially enrolled in the course. So when you request a course, you'll see requested, and then once I approve the course, under courses currently enrolled, the course will move there. So you know the course has been approved. You will only get access to course content on Quarkus once I approve the course. So new for fall 2024 is that students can only enroll in a maximum of 2.0 FCE courses per semester. So that's 2 full course equivalents. So that's, for example, that's 4 half credit courses. This includes MSc 1010H as well. So MSc 1010H and plus 3 half credit courses. So students should not be enrolling in more than 2.0 FCE. As Aisha mentioned earlier, for master's students, you only need 2.0 FCE throughout your entire degree to complete the MSc program, as long as you're not enrolled in a collaborative specialization program and need extra requirements. And like master's students PhD students, depending on which stream you came under, you need 2.0 or 3.0. So a maximum of 2.0 FCE courses is what you can enroll in. IMS courses do not have a wait list. So you need to check Acorn regularly. If your course is full, you need to check Acorn regularly to make sure if you want to enroll in the course, that if there's spots available. Please note that if you're not interested in a course anymore, please unrequest the course. When you request a course, even when you're not currently enrolled in the course, you are taking a spot in the course from another student. So if you're no longer interested in a course, or it's not meeting, like you have a schedule conflicts, please do unrequest the course, because there are other students who need to take courses as well. And students can enroll in courses with an invited status as well. So I'll hand it back to Aisha.
So deciding what courses you want to take and who to talk to about what courses to take is really important. And IMS recommends that you take courses that are relevant to your project or that complement your skill set. So important resources for who, or important context for who you talk to about this sort of stuff is your supervisor, first and foremost, also your committee members, and we'll talk more about who your committee members are. And also lab colleagues are probably the best people to reach out to regarding what is most relevant to your work. You may be required to take specific courses if you are in a collaborative specialization. So checking out the requirements for those courses is also really important. And it would also be a great idea to ask our current IMS students their thoughts on courses during the Q&A at the end of this session. So regarding when you should actually complete your course requirements, this mainly depends on you and your supervisor's preferences, but the IMS does suggest completion of coursework within your first year of your MSc or the end of the second year in your PhD. And again, this is just a guideline, but for PhD students, there are additional candidacy requirements to keep in mind as well. So it's important that you look into that.
So moving on to MSc 1010H and 1011H, which is a mandatory course that all students will be enrolled in, unless you've already completed it at IMS as part of your master's degree. Dr. Marianne Karazinski is the current course director for this course, and you'll be meeting her at orientation, I believe, and as well as in September when the course starts. So this course has recently changed. So these requirements are for all students who are enrolling in the course as of fall 2024. So all students on this call who are starting in fall 2024 will follow this version of the course. So the requirements of the course is it's over a 2-year period. So there's 2 requirements for the course currently. So there is a seminar series that happens in the fall term. If I remember correctly, this year it will be on Fridays mornings. It's usually 2 hours. So these are mandatory. You must attend the seminar series. So you are allowed to miss only 1 seminar in order to have the seminar series requirement marked as complete. So these are in person and you need to be attending them in person. It's a great opportunity where this course exposes you to different research areas as well as like qualitative versus quantitative research and etc. So this is year 1, so the fall semester. So in year 2, so this is for those of you starting in fall 2024, this will be in winter 2026. You will do the presentation group requirement. So in this requirement, you will basically be presenting your research in small groups to a facilitator as well as your colleagues, which is a great opportunity to practice your presentation skills, especially because you need it for your thesis defense, for scientific day, etc. We do have an option to complete this requirement year 1, which would be winter 2025. However, I will note that their spaces are limited because priority is given to year 2 students. You will only receive the credit once you complete both requirements. So you will only see this credit on your transcript, in winter 2026 once this requirement is complete. So you will see IPR beside MSc 1010H or MSc 1011H until you complete both of these requirements of the course. So if you have any questions regarding this course, you can always reach out to me. My email is on the screen as well. Moving on to collaborative specialization programs. So IMS offers many collaborative specializations, which are hosted by different departments as well as faculties. So we have our most popular, I would say, is a neuroscience collaborative specialization program. Recently, we've had a neuromodulation, we have environment and health, we have addiction studies, and so on and so forth. So the goal is to really enrich the graduate experience by providing you with like an in-depth area, because you'll find other students and faculty members who share similar research interests that you, great opportunities for collaboration as well. Each collaborative specialization program is different, so each of them have their own requirements. Some of them require you to take additional courses. Some of them might require you to present at their research day. So each one has different requirements. I highly encourage you to go on our website, click on the various links to the different collaborative specialization programs. So once you finish a collaborative specialization program, there will be a notation on your transcript which indicates you completed this requirement as well. So if you are enrolled in a collaborative specialization program, you have to complete the IMS degree requirements as well as the collaborative specialization program requirements, and you can enroll in more than one collaborative specialization program. So moving on to the most important part of today's presentation, in my opinion, is our add drop course form. So everyone should become familiar with this add drop course form. So for most courses outside of IMS, you will be required to submit an add drop course form signed by 1, your supervisor, number 2, signed by the course instructor of the department offering the course, as well as your signature on this form. So as you can tell at the top of the form, I'll be going over a sample form on the next slide. But you will need to fill out this entire form, and this is found on the IMS website as well under timetable and descriptions as well. Once you've completed the form, like the section 1, section 1A, as well as the required signatures in section 2, you will need to email the form to me so that I can get the IMS graduate coordinator to sign the form. It takes a minimum of 1 week for this form to be signed and returned to you. So please take that into consideration when you're signing up for courses. If it's just like 3 days before the course add deadline, that's not a good time to send a form. Please start these forms early. You can start these forms actually now before course enrollment starts as well, which is fine. But then you can't enroll in the course until July 15th. So depending on the course, some courses you can request the course on Acorn without this form, but I will not approve it until I have a fully signed form. Some courses you won't even be able to add it yourself because the department offering the course needs to add the course for you on Acorn, and they will only add it once you have a fully signed form. So here is a sample add drop course form. It is imperative that you fill out this form correctly so that it reduces the amount of back and forth emails so that we can get this form on time and get you enrolled in the course. So when you fill out the form, at the top section is the student information. It is straightforward. Your legal last name, your legal first name, your U of T student number, the degree you're enrolled in. Are you in a Master of Science program? Are you in a Doctor of Philosophy program? The session, so the session in which you're going to take the course, and then the graduate unit is the Institute of Medical Science for all of you. You guys are all full-time students, as well as your University of Toronto email address. As I mentioned, once you become an IMS student, we can only communicate with you through your U of T email address. So please do not use any Gmails, Hotmails, or any other emails. It has to be your University of Toronto email address. And then in the course number, please write the course number. So it's usually a 3-lettered, the first 3 letters are for like the department, and then there's 4 numbers for a graduate level course. So if there's 3 numbers, it is an undergraduate course, and undergraduate courses cannot be counted towards IMS degree requirements. So the course title, the session code. So if it's a fall 2024 course, it will be 2024-9. And if it's a winter 2025 course, it will be 2025-1. The meeting section for most of these courses will be lecture 0101 because most graduate courses don't have multiple sections, but they might. You can find that information on the website of the course of the department you're hoping to take a course with. Then in section 2, please make sure you have you sign the form. And then supervisor signature, please make sure your supervisor signs the form. As when you're picking courses, you should always consult with your supervisor and let them know what courses you are enrolling in. And then the host instructor signature, because the host instructor is because they're the department offering the course, so they are the host department. So make sure that they sign the form as well. So if you're taking any immunology courses, you don't need to fill out this form. You don't need to fill out this form for CHL 5201 and CHL 5202, which are the biostatistics courses offered by Dalawana. But for most courses, you will need to fill out this form. So I also wanted to talk about the course grading policy. This is really important that you keep this in mind. So most undergraduate programs, if you get a 50% or over, you pass the course. However, in graduate school, you must get over 70% to pass the course. If you receive under a 70%, so 69 and under, you will receive a fail letter grade on your transcript. So there are graduate students who take undergraduate courses for various purposes, such as fulfilling electives for medical school or etc. Even if you take an undergraduate course as a graduate student, you must still receive 70%. If you get less than 70% in an undergraduate course, you will receive a fail on your transcript. So this is really important to consider when you're taking undergraduate courses. Undergraduate courses do not count towards IMS degree requirements. They're considered as extra, but the grades do appear on your transcript. So we do not really recommend that you take undergraduate courses unless you absolutely need it for a certain purpose. So I'm moving it back to Aisha.
Thanks, Sabiga. So we've mentioned program advisory committees or PACs and committee members a few times, but now we'll actually get into a little bit of what that actually means. Your PAC consists of your supervisor and a minimum of 2 faculty members who guide your project and degree progress through advisory meetings every 6 months or about every 6 months. And you should discuss with your supervisor regarding who will actually sit on your PAC, as this must be submitted to IMS for approval. And please look into the details of who can be on your PAC and review that with your supervisor, as there are very specific requirements that need to be met. Next slide. So here's an outline of how PAC meetings actually work. Before the meeting, you must circulate a report of your progress or the PAC research report, and also a meeting report from the previous meeting. During the meeting, you will present approximately a 20-minute update on your research and degree progress, and the PAC will discuss and evaluate your progress. After the meeting, you must submit the meeting report to IMS, which will be signed by members during the meeting. And we will be having a PAC workshop in the fall to further clarify the requirements regarding who to contact about PAC. Your MSc contact is Yilin, and for PhD students, your contact would be Joanna. So this is an overview of the required steps prior to the PhD qualifying exam for anyone in their PhD or interested in pursuing a PhD. So you must have a pre-exam PAC meeting to obtain approval from your PAC. And you can find more detailed information on the IMS website of how this process actually works. For MSc to PhD transfer students, the transfer exam process also requires PAC approval prior to the exam. The option to transfer is only available to students that meet specific requirements, which again are detailed on the website. So this includes specific grade requirements and also in terms of your research progress. Next slide. So I know a lot of you had questions regarding like your UTOR ID and T-card and getting your email. So I would say this is a really important set of steps for enrollment, and you are required to complete these before September. So these should be your exact next steps if you haven't started on them already. You can enroll in courses before completing these steps, but you do need to complete them before the registration deadline. And this is really important because if you don't complete these beforehand, you will get kicked out of your courses. And you don't really want that to happen because it will be really stressful for you. And course enrollment is already kind of stressful when you need to get into the courses you need for your degree. Your UTOR ID, T-card, and email address, from what I know, and somebody can please correct me, it's been a while since I've had to do all of that, are all created at the same time. So you can kind of complete all of that at once. Your UTOR ID is used to log into Acorn, which is where you will be completing your course enrollment. And all UFT communications should be done using a UFT email address. So if you do want to receive important reminders, please make sure you have this set up. And just as a reminder, course enrollment starts on July 15th at 12 a.m. So you do ideally want to have your UTOR ID and email address before that date.
Yeah, just to add, you can't enroll in courses without your UTOR ID because you'll need it to log into Acorn. So please make sure your UTOR ID is already set up before July 15th.
Yeah, I just want to add, so those of you who have been admitted but haven't accepted the letter of offer, we strongly recommend that you accept our letter of offer as well, because then you'll be sent follow-up registration information that also contains like how to access your UT email and how to get your UTOR ID and everything like that.
Thanks, Emily. So this is a degree requirement checklist. So this is very similar regardless of whether you're a master's student or a PhD student. So you need to complete the elective and modular course requirements. So as mentioned before, I like to reiterate that the elective courses must be letter graded graduate level courses. So graded on an A+ to B- scale. The modular courses can either be credit, no credit, or letter graded courses. MSc 1010, 1011 H is a credit, no credit course. So there are two requirements, lecture series and group seminars. I will repeat, this is for students starting in fall 2024. So if there's by any chance anyone on this call who was admitted in or who started the program in January 2024, the requirements are different for you. You'll need a PAC meeting every 6 months, a research thesis and oral defense. You'll need the TCPS online ethics course. They're usually due November 1st every single year. As well as we hold an annual Ori Rothstein lecture in the fall semester. This year it's on November, the date is on our website, I believe, but it's November, I believe, the 2nd or 3rd week. So this is a lecture that you have to attend. It will happen at the Li Ka-shing Knowledge Institute at St. Michael's Hospital. Attendance at this event once during your degree is mandatory. You will also need to present at the annual IMS Scientific Day. It will be on April 25th, 2025 next year. So please mark this date in your calendars. I highly, highly recommend that first-year students present in their first year. It's a great opportunity for you to practice your presentation skills. You don't, even if you don't have a lot of data, you have some data, it's a great opportunity to practice your presentation skills. And you also get the requirement done with just in case you have any conflicts in your second year. You will get more information about Scientific Day and the Ori Rothstein lecture later on. And if applicable, if you're enrolled in any collaborative specialization programs, make sure that you complete those requirements as well as the qualifying exam for PhD and the transfer exam if you're applying to transfer. Back to Aisha.
We wanted to highlight some resources specific for international students. So these can be accessed online at ims.international.ca. There are also dedicated IMS staff, such as our Senior Partnerships and Communications Officer, Sarah Topa. So if you have any questions or concerns as an international student, she would be a great person to contact. We do also offer several other student support resources and services. The graduate coordinator office hours are a great place for any questions regarding your IMS experience, including any concerns with your supervisor, your degree, and pretty much any other questions that you might have as a IMS graduate student. And just to disclose, these are one-on-one and confidential meetings. So if you do have any information that you would like to keep confidential, just to assure you, these are private one-on-one office hour meetings. There are also several opportunities to get involved, and these are also just great resources to have to receive support from fellow IMS students. So we have the IMS Student Association, and we do have the current president with us today, who will be leading one of the breakout rooms. So if you do have more questions about that, feel free to drop into Hamza's breakout room. And we also have IMS student mentorship programs. So if you're looking to receive mentorship, or if you're interested in being a mentor, we do have a couple of opportunities to do that as well.
I just want to add, when you're going to the virtual office hours, you will be put in a waiting room until the graduate coordinators can see you, because as Aisha mentioned, they are one-on-one meetings.
And our IMS Curriculum and Education Admin, Soviga, also has a dedicated office hour for one-on-one support specific to course enrollment and selection. And you will receive the office hour details via email.
Yeah, so they will start next week only, and they will only be in July. So I highly encourage you to take advantage of this opportunity. If you have any questions, it's a lot easier when you join these meetings to talk about it one-on-one as opposed to email. You're always welcome to email me, but this is a great opportunity if you need any one-on-one support. So they will only be in July, so they'll be only for 3 different Wednesdays.
The IMS Student Handbook is another great resource that we have available online that provides specific links to important pages on the IMS website. So this might just make things easier to navigate on the website. So it has some important links there. And I know we did mention this a few times already, but as part of your degree requirements, you do have to present at IMS Scientific Day, either through the manuscript competition or through a poster presentation. And like Sabiga mentioned, it's a good opportunity for you to share your research and work on your presentation skills. I did my presentation in my first year, and it was like a great way to kind of get used to being able to communicate your research in a kind of lower stakes environment as opposed to going to more like conferences outside of UFT. I feel like this is a lot lower stakes, and you get some great feedback and have a lot of great discussions with our IMS faculty and students.
I will add Scientific Day for the poster presentations. They are e-posters, so they're not like the printed out posters, but we have electronic posters. It is a full day conference. It's a great opportunity to hear from a keynote speaker. You'll have the Alan Wu poster competition. We might have research panels, the Layla manuscript competition, and a lot of our IMS awards are given at the Scientific Day. So not only are the awards for the poster presentations as well as the manuscript competition. There's winners and honorable mentions, but also the other awards such as our curriculum awards, our impact awards. This is a great event for you to attend in your first year, even if you're not presenting. I am the staff lead for the event, so I highly recommend you do attend the events.